Hey there team, so this is a 5v3 battle on Carn Dum. The forces of evil today are on the assault here, with the forces of good holed up inside. We have a mixture of orcs and evil men on the assault. We'll start with Paladin, who is leading the troops of Umbar today. He's got the Corsair crossbowmen, always solid I would say, Harbingers of Castamere, Balakith shield bearers there, 2 units of them, some Axe Guard, some more Axe Guard, some Sentinels, and then of course the tried and tested Alcarondas Legion, quadruple Alcarondas Legion. Another unit of crossbows, and some Belgar archers there to suck up a bit of damage. The Trebuchet can also be brought by Umbar, one of the only evil, oh I see we just actually started, the only evil faction that can bring this incredible weapon. So it's good that they have that today. If the defenders do not have one of their own, that could be an issue. Oh dang, I thought that would bring us just up, but no, we end up down in the hovel there, but or the moat. His first ally is Huluporo. I've never seen Huluporo before, so we'll see how he gets on. We've got the Uruk-hai infantry. Definitely a unit that can go toe to toe with something like the Alcarondas Legion. They just do have to follow morale, unlike the Alcarondas Legion. We've got the Trolls of the White Hand there. Some Corsair crossbows. The defenders are going to have a lot of crossbow fire coming into them with Umbar and Isengard against them. The Uruk-hai Berserkers can no longer receive an armor upgrade. I think that's good, to be honest. I think the Berserkers, the whole thing about them is they will fall away to arrow fire quite quickly. Half orc Spearguard, gosh, he looks fearsome, are being taken there. I don't play Isengard too much myself, but when I do, I tend to stick to the Uruk-hai or the Dunlendings, not really getting Spearguard. Some pikemen there, and some Nazhai. Currently pushing a tower. I don't expect them to actually take that all the way to the front. Got some Uruk-hai crossbows there, some more Uruk-hai infantry, some Spearguard, some more infantry, and some raiders there. And missed these guys, some more crossbows. Lots of crossbows here, actually. Wait, oh, no, I did get them. Yeah, oh well, whoops. And that is his army, so pretty exceptional quality, but that would be what is expected from Isengard, so that the other orc allies can take a few more numbers. We've got Rune, led by Beast Mode. He is, again, I've not seen him hanging around before, so he's got some Flag Rim, some Dragon's Wrath crossbows there, some more Flag Rim, the Gamp Rim, a nice long line of Gamp Rim there, some Scion Rim for the morale, and also just good spearmen, or pushing if he wants to do that, and then a last unit of Gamp Rim. Some Nar Rim there, 2 units, and then some Eastron Guard with an armor upgrade. I love them. I love their look without the armor upgrade, but I think they do look great with it as well. Eastron Guard, there's not actually too many of them in this game, like just spearmen without shields, I find. You know, if you're not a pikeman anyway, usually you've got a shield. Eastron Warriors and another unit of Eastron Warriors. Then their next ally over here is Mordor by Jaka. We've seen Jaka before. So more on archers, not just the orc archers. Oh wow, that's cool. He's got like a little. Oh no, I thought he had like a little nose on his helmet. Some orc fodder. Only 1 unit of orc fodder? No, well yeah, only 1. Damn, that's a shame. More on infantry. I always like to get a lot of orc fodder on the front line. You can get that extra unit for just 250. It's kind of worth it sometimes. Orc maulers there. Sauron's Well. Some more guard. Blackguard of Barad-dûr, and the other unit of orc fodder. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm happy to see that. But he's done something kind of strange. He's got his sort of fodder line here, and then he's all the way back here. He's deployed the real meat of his army with these halberdiers. Modern halberdiers are not really going to be winning too many wars, but they're armor piercing on the front line. Minas Morgul Chosen there. I've been quite liking them recently. Some orc archers, 2 units of them, and some temple executioners without an armor upgrade. I've said before, I think they look a little more evil without the armor upgrade, so I like when people don't take it. Some orc javelins. I'd expect 2, but no, there looks like there's only 1 unit there. And then all the trolls that he can bring. He's got the mountain trolls there, some troll drummers, and also the Uruk-hai. So going, and finally a Nazgul as well. So lots of elites from Mordor, along with a few pieces of fodder as well. Janny Boy here is leading Angmar with some Snaggastalkers, 2 units of Snaggastalkers, and some Orc Fellers. Behind them, a nice long line of the Blackwatch Legion, some Barrow Whites of course, some Angmar Marauders, and some Gundabad Guard, and lastly the Angmar Halberdiers, again, not really as good as the Witch Realm Pikes, but AP, and another unit of the Angmar Halberdiers. They're not as armoured up as the Witch Realm Pikes anyway. He's got the fearsome Witchers here, which hopefully they'll be able to find a good shot today. And that's where he's put his general. A lot of people put their general in the Witchers. I don't agree with that. You know, but hey, that's where he's got. It's a nice place to put, a nice sort of thematic place to put your general, but I always find it a bit scary. 2 units of Angmar Halberdiers there, no armor upgrades for them today. And then 2 trolls. Lots of trolls on the field for the attackers. And lots of high quality trolls in the field today. So hopefully they have the tools to deal with that, or this could get very bloody very, very quickly. Grizzly Fox is playing as Cardolan. Cardolan's got a lot of AP to bring, and if they've got the Hammer Guard, that's the perfect troll killing weapon right there. Some Minheriath Men-at-Arms. A nice little mixed up formation of the Greenway Garrison Spearmen, and some Minheriath Archers just hiding out of the way of an artillery volley, I suppose. That's why they're off the walls. Greenway Garrison Footmen, we were looking for them, mixed in again with some more of these Minheriath Archers. And that sort of goes along. We're seeing some, is that Spearmen? Yes, Greenway Garrison Spears. It's I'm going to zoom out just so we can get a better view of what we're actually looking at there. Yes, Minheriath Spears. And then some Dunedain Captains. Do we have an armor upgrade? We do not have an armor upgrade for the Dunedain Captains. Saves a bit of money for elsewhere, of course. The Wardens of Tir Gorthad are not going to be easy to bust their way through. And that is all he's got right there, but he's got some Sharpshooters. As long as he saves his ammo, they will rack up a lot of kills. Thieves of Tharbad, great units to just cut through swarms of Barrow Whites, I find. Their AP and very high skill allows them to do that, and they're also locked morale as an added benefit. Some Gwathlo Trackers, some Dunedain Rangers, and there they are, the Tharbad Warhammers. Hopefully they get saved for some trolls when they get thrown in, and some more Minheriath Sharpshooters. I think it would be a terrible shame if there weren't 2 of them. I'm expecting to see the gate guards, or the gatekeepers. Oh, nope, we're moving on to his ally. We'll call out if we see any more Cardolan, but I don't think we will. His ally here is Lothlorien, played by Aradon. He's got his Lorien and Warriors, big AP, 2-handed axes. To be honest, they'll do alright against some trolls. Some Eldar Council, 2 units of them. A catapult here by Aradon. I think a lot of the time a catapult is better for a siege, but just gotta be careful to make sure it doesn't get counter-sniped by that trebuchet. The March Wardens of the Wood, and some Rangers there, the Seren Amroth Rangers. Some Lorien and Swordmasters there. Is there anything hiding in the back? There are, actually. Another unit of Tharbad Warhammers. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that's a good plan, as long as he's able to use them well. Some Karis Galadron Guardians, some Kindred of Celeborn, Watchers of the Golden Wood, Blade Masters there, Galadron Blade Masters, Spearmen, and some Sword Masters again. And that's all they've got hidden in the back here. We'll go back up to the front line. There we are, the Gatekeepers. No armor upgrade for the Gatekeepers, but just a solid choice. Nice AP crossbows, and then they're also AP with their kind of like halberds and melee, so always a good choice. Lorien and Archers there on the front line with some Lorien and Spears mixed in with some Spears of the Wood. Kind of pretty difficult to bust your way through that, actually. Up on the walls, already some Lorien and Warriors just staring down the advancing runic forces. And some more Lorien and Warriors there. And some more Spears of the Wood. A lot of elves on the field today from that one army, because he's not really got too many upgrades on them. Arthedain here, played by Bolt Lude. So it's nice to see Cardolan and Arthedain making up and fighting together. A lot of armor upgrades for these Arthedain Men-at-Arms. I think they look fantastic with it. I always try to give it to them, but it makes them a lot more expensive. Some more Arthedain Men-at-Arms there. Again, a lot of armor upgrades. the Forest Errant Defenders, dismount Forest Errant Knights, some Arthedain Pikes, again, armor upgrades for them, the Innuminous Gate Guards, and more the Arthedain Pikes there. If they bust right in through, is that a double? No, it's not. I thought for a moment that was 2 units lined up on top of each other, but no, it's not. If they come right in through this gate, this is not something you can push through too easy, especially with units like the Dismounted Knights of Innuminous just waiting. Dismounted Forest Errant Knights, Forest Errant Defenders, and Arthedain Men-at-Arms. Some more Arthedain Men-at-Arms as well. Again, all of these with armor upgrades, that's not cheap at all. Hopefully it does pay off for them. The Arthedain Marksmen have even been given their plate armor today. As have these guys, I suppose. Yes, they have. Okay. I like it. Definitely adds a much more elite feel to the army. I really hope it'll work out. And to be honest, the Uruk-hai, with the exception of those crossbows, the Uruk-hai don't have a massive amount of AP brought today, so it could really benefit them. Forest Errant Defenders in the back here, with 2 more men-at-arms. Again, all with armor upgrades. Wardens of the North, some Dunedain Troll Slayers, and the Dunedain Rangers there. Voice is already dying. I really do hope I will make it through this as we go up into normal speed. Now, Carn Dum, there's a lack of cavalry brought today by the defenders, which I think is fair. I think sometimes you can get too focused on bringing cavalry and forget to really shore up your defenses. But and looking around the defenders, well, the attackers' armies, they would clearly be ready for that. They would be ready for a sally, more ready than we've seen people be before. But still, it does limit your options. It means you are going to be waiting for the attackers to advance. Now, I suspect what they might do is wait for this trebuchet to get into position, so we might end up doing a cut. And if we do a cut, that might be a good bit of time for me to go and have a quick drink of water and chill for a minute. So we'll cut back when things kick off. We were not waiting too long. I did expect them to maybe hold fire until that trebuchet was in position, but Jaka is going for it. Now, this is definitely what I would do here. Even if I wanted to hold, I think I'd probably want to take that gate down. When you have a unit like the Orc Fodder, this is a great time to do it. Carn Dum is one of the other maps that has working towers on it. It never really seems to feel well, it never feels to me that the Carn Dum tower do just as much damage as the Dale towers, but there's never quite as many, well, there are not as many of them as there are in Dale. So it's okay to kind of let your men suffer these sorts of hits, but these are free kills. You know, even it's free kills on units like Orc Fodder, but it's still free kills. These siege towers taking about fire arrows from the towers. They can get damaged from this fire, and I have seen towers get burned down. Well, I've seen siege towers get burned down by the towers, but it's rare. It's more rare than some people fear. Anyway, it does seem like Hulaporo is holding back for his ally there, which is sensible. These Eastern warriors are rushing right forward. Now, we saw in my last battle on Dale when runic forces, mid-tier runic forces like the Eastern warriors threw themselves forward up against skilled elven infantrymen. They were swatted aside. So hopefully we won't see that again today. Eastern warriors are of course a little bit more skilled, so the AP from the well, they rely more on their skill than they do their armor. So the AP from the Lorien and warriors won't be as brutal to them, but it's still, my money would be on the Eastern warriors. We've got a bit of crossfire going on against these Eastern guards. That armor upgrade will not save them. They lack that shield. What they are doing, however, is they're using up this Arthedain ammunition from Bot Lude. Some of it is clearly racking up a lot of kills, but it's not as bad as it would be up against his ally, or the Uruk-hai, when they advance. Eastern Guard do not want to just sit and wait, though. They're rushing up forward, as are the Eastern Warriors. This is going to expose them to the perfect position for these March Wardens, who are already getting into place. They're going to have a perfect shot. If they line up there, they'll have a perfect shot on both of the entrances, but they need to be running. They need to get in position fast if they want to make use of this. They're going straight from the Lorien and warriors, and they'll get a charge bonus. The Lorien and warriors are not countercharging them. That was a man down. That was an elf down. Very good quality elf. So, not really what you want to see. They're winning right now. I suspect that that is going to be turning around real quick. Oh gosh. Yep, there we go. Good. So that has turned around there, and once these archers open fire, this unit of Eastern warriors will disappear. No advances there yet. How are the orcs faring? Advancing with this shield of his siege towers will keep him very safe. Now, as I say, this is a strategy. It's a good strategy. You know, you can have whatever opinion about it you want, and it's fair enough to use. But it's really going to be cutting out the option for Cardolan. If he lined up a unit here, he could get a side shot, but say a unit here would not have a clear shot down that line, and these towers as well are not going to be able to shoot through those siege towers. And there's a lot of siege towers being moved in place in case one of them ended up burning down. That does look quite nice actually, just all the orcs running through the gaps in amongst the siege towers to get in position. That is cool. Gate has been broken. I've always got, just because of the amount of times it's gotten in my way, I've always got a habit of picking my ram back up after I've taken a gate and moving it out of the way. But hopefully that won't be an issue for his orc javelins. Definitely not positioned over here, but say if he was positioned, forgetting where my WASD is. Say if he was positioned right here, that would be a pain. So, you know, for the few seconds that it takes, and of course this the hitbox is a bit larger than the item looks, so it is quite a good idea to just move it if you have the time. As I say, he's not having any trouble right now though, and that will be some good fire here, right up against the front of these Minhariath spears. Losing Minhariath warriors to just simple javelin fire like that will be painful. It will be very upsetting to do. Well, very upsetting to suffer that. That's not exactly the... Dear, I'm trying to use the... because I like the way it looks when I sort of scan across instead of just moving there. But this moat is proving very very difficult to deal with. These Lorien and warriors they're doing much better now that they're in a proper confrontation up against these Eastron warriors, and they will just be smashing through what little armor they may have. This flag bearer, even though he is just using a sword there, he will have the armor piercing attack because that is the unit that he's part of. I believe that's the case, but please don't quote me on that. Lorien and spears actually. Oh, these are Eastron Guard. Okay. What I worry about is when he gets a unit of halberdiers pushing the front of this. But these Eastron Guard are really going to be struggling. Was that a quick volley from the Rangers? No, surely not. No, but it was something. Ouch. That's a lot of golden corpses. We are seeing an elf or two dotted around, but no, that position was held quite well there. And the Eastron Guard up here were also dealt with. So he's clearly held fire with them, which is good. Now that trebuchet is in position though, you need to be careful about these walls. When you have men on them, if one of these walls ends up getting too badly damaged, suddenly half of your unit is dead. Was that a miss, or was that a... Oh no, it's hitting. I can't see the health of that though. Maybe that's something that you lack in spectator mode. So we will be paying attention to that. And as soon as I saw that taking damage, I would get these men off the walls. Because if that breaks, that's going to be 50. He'll be lucky if that's 50 men. That's the first level of break. We saw one man get two men get killed. Come on, bot, you need to move. Your soldiers do start to get a little bit bugged out when their footing gets destroyed. We'll watch one more strike from the trebuchet, see if they can take it out like this. So suddenly Botlud's expertly crafted pike wall is going to have to defend multiple entrances here. That's another level of damage, taken down to 90 there. I think it'll be one more volley and it'll be gone. These orcs have suffered a few casualties, even with their sort of defensive wall in place. Orc javelins are just able to line right up close. But you see these orc javelins, if they were firing up here, a few of them would get stuck in this ram. Let's look over and see the damage. A lot of these Eastron spears, but to be honest, Grizzly Fox is probably not too worried about that. Eastron spears are kind of brought to be lost. As cruel as that seems to be from a Western man faction, it's you need something to use up your enemy's javelins, and your greenway spears anyway are they serve that purpose. It's that or civilians. So where are they running into? Can they enter? Oh, all right. That's something to keep in mind. They can sort of run through there a bit.
We have captured the enemy's walls.
Snaga Stalkers running forward. They'll do alright against the garrison spears. Oh, it looks like the archers did get off. I'm gonna slow it down for a minute, just so we make sure we don't mess these things. But this is a good push here. We need some ranger fire. We need some ranger fire right on down that line right now. I don't know where the rangers are. The rangers are still waiting there. If Grizzly had them here, this is the perfect time to use them, because you can just start deleting these lightly armored units. But no matter what, they need to get reinforcements. Can I see how thin that is? Look how thin that position is. There's one. Oh damn, the trolls are in now. We need the warhammers. We need everything. Not everything, of course, but we need something to hold this back. Oh dear. Sharpshooters will be able to get some good shots inside. Rune will not be making an advance anytime soon, I suppose. A lot of archers dead, but it's certainly not as bloody as it could have been. Oh god, maybe it was. Yeah, no, they're taken down to 23. There's a lot more dead than the corpses show. That's too bad. But no matter what, he's still got all the ammunition of that unit. Oh, that looks quite cool on this map, yeah. When you look at all the little shapes. But that would have used up a lot of ammunition from the Treb. Treb doesn't have too much ammo nowadays, so taking down walls with it is good, but you're going to go through that ammo. Mountain Trolls, I don't think they've taken a single loss yet, but they'll be loving this fight, just smashing through these pikemen. I see you need some AP on the front. These sharpshooters, even though they are crossbowmen, they're AP. They take out their little maces and they will start batting away at these trolls. And even if they just hold them in place, these Tharbad Warhammers are coming, and they will break some kneecaps, or at least bust open some ankles. The Oleg High would be a much trickier opponent to fight. This is a great assault from Jackie and Janny Boy, but I worry that it's maybe too quick. Is it too early? What are we at here? 10 for 8. You know, that's pretty good actually for the attackers in these early stages. Archers firing up onto the walls. Good to get this right hand shot into the Morin infantry. Get them on the side their shields are not. But they're going to be getting interrupted by these Blackguard. Blackguard may be dedicated pushing, but they can fare okay in in an engagement like this, especially up against a unit like Menheriath Archers. Up against Menheriath Sharpshooters, I wouldn't be so sure, but them being held there, speaking of the Menheriath Sharpshooters, they're firing. Jeepers sake, Jack is doing a great job of just locking up these sharpshooter units, or just these range units altogether. This is really nice from him. Those thieves need to relieve this unit, get in the back. Oh god, you're seeing this blue push that's just been very effective. Grizzly is trying to hold it in place, but the Greenway Garrison Footmen are fantastic for their price. I love it, but for something like this is something where even a good quality pikeman is going to be struggling. And there's even more trolls coming in now. No, I think when Cardolan saw how many trolls were being sent on his way, or even he saw how many trolls that he was going to have to deal with, he needed to have both of the Warhammers down here right from the start, right from the get-go. Because there's just not enough AP on this front line, and you can see like what the trolls and what everybody else has done to it. Guathlo trackers are sending some volleys in. See, these Warhammers are loving it. They're perfect for this confrontation. They've lost a few of them, of course. You're always going to lose people fighting trolls, but sharpshooters again. Johnny Boy's just doing all he can just stop those sharpshooters from firing. Just get stuck in them. Guathlo trackers, actually quite a bit of damage for the price. But no AP, but that's not really going to be too much of a problem up against a lot of these orcs and uruks. Those drummers there are going to keep people in place. We're watching the siege tower, that's Guardians of Carn Dum coming down it. Oh sorry, no, even worse, it's the Blackwatch Legion. No armor upgrade for them, but I much prefer the look of them without it. Menheriath Men at Arms, I love them, but their morale isn't so great, and they're not built for this. So it would be a terrible shame if they broke. They just broke. Now, as long as they turn around the right way... No, God. Oh, that's painful. That is 100 Cardolan men, 100 heavily armoured Cardolan men just wiped out. That's definitely going to tip the scores. Crumbs, we're at over 20% already. This is quite a quick battle. I'm going to have to slow down to 0.7 because I'm missing a lot. Lorien and Warriors here, still standing, still doing good. But what I'm worried about at this stage is they're going to get hit from the back. Now it really is a time to... Oh, there's so few sharpshooters. Now really is a time to fall back, I'd say. Even if Arthedain has not been engaged on this side, which he has, generally an Uruk-hai push is going quite well here. Which surprises me against these Forest Aaron defenders. There's just not too much AP on this front line, but I guess the pikes, Uruk-hai pikes are just damn good. The Corsair crossbows will be hurting these people. But as I say, I would, if I was a defender at this point, I'd be considering retreat. I just think it's getting too dicey here. No, we'll move on back because that seems to be a pretty ordered push with just a lot of crossbow fire coming into them. Menheriath sharpshooters running back. Hopefully they won't bug out because their ammunition is going to be very useful, and they have not fired all of it. The attackers were too aggressive. The Flag Rim and the Gap Rim mixed up together. This is not an easy thing to hold back, especially not for these malicious spears of the wood. Poison arrows from the March Wardens coming to the backs of the Scion Rim. Scion Rim are incredible morale, and they're going to be inspiring this line as well, but getting shot from the back isn't fun. More Spears of the Wood over here, engaging these Angmar Marauders, just making sure that I guess this front line can do all the work that it needs to. Beast Mode is by himself over here, so he's been clever. He's not throwing himself all in, but he's definitely not going to have too much left when we get to the later stages of this fight. But that's just that is the role that he has to follow, I'm afraid, and he's done it well. Rolling on archers there, opening fire. There's so many orcs still left here. Temple Executioners untouched. Nazgul, they might have been in that blob, so it's always impossible to say with the Nazgul. These men swinging away against thieves. Thieves with their AP will benefit a bit, but Uruk-hai are not easy. What have we got? A relatively organised retreat. Cardolan needs to form up here. It's that, or perhaps everybody's falling. If everybody is falling back to the final defences after 15,000 frames, that's very quick. But maybe it's for the best, because if these trolls went in right again like that, they'd blast right on through without issue. Let's come out of this close range for now. See what's going on over here.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset.
The announcer's pretty happy with the attacker's chances. Arthedain pikes coming in. 29 for 35, so the attackers are ahead. The Dunedain Trollslayer certainly will have something to say about that, though. They can rain hell into this position. Just about everybody here is a worthy target for them. They aren't an elite, which of course they would want to be hitting. They're busting through this gate. That gate's not going to last too much longer. Dismounted Forest Errant Knights and the Innuminous Gate Guard are still here. But as I say, with your allies retreating as they are, Botlud needs to be thinking about an evacuation strategy. Even if he is racking up quite a lot of kills. And we just spotted there the Trolls of the White Hand are being thrown forward. And one of the main things Arthur Dane struggles with is armor piercing. These Troll Slayers, though, if they're willing to, if they're able to throw a javelin or two into those approaching trolls, or get out those big two-handed axes, they will cut through trolls quite nicely, as they are named for. What we got there on the... Oof. Generally it's going quite well for the Arthur Dane forces here. But now that they've busted open the gate too, they've got another choke point to worry about, and the back of this line is going to be getting attacked. The Innuminous Gate Guard are moving in, but the Innuminous Gate Guard maybe should have been there a bit earlier, to be honest. Arthur Dane men-at-arms coming forward too. See, if my Troll Slayers were engaged like that by trolls, I'd maybe go into melee. I know he's maybe trying to get the trolls. I guess he's trying to get the trolls to chase him, but I don't know. They're just going to be butting through that formation any minute now. More Arthur Dane troops coming forward. As I say, I'd be looking to get less troops on the front line. I'd be thinking about getting out. Again, left. This is a bit annoying. This is the left side. These guys are fighting on, so they've got their shield bonus. Now that's ranger fire coming into them though, so it's gonna hurt either way, but they've still got some defense against it. What's this here? No, nothing crazy. These are the first of Mordor's forces coming forward. They've got they could attack anything they really wanted. And the attackers have free reign down here. We're only just about to touch 17,000 frames. The barrow weights not really having engaged in combat, a bit too slow for it. God, that's a lot of bodies. Trolls definitely would have taken some hit point damage, but as for actual losses to their numbers, they're still doing pretty peachy. Spears of the Wood coming back, Lorien and Archers coming back. Minotaur Roman Gatekeepers trying to find some good shots. That's a good idea. I think the main thing that's going to save the defenders here is just the amount of ammunition that they still have. So just trying to make sure you find good times to use it is important. There's a lot of men and going to be packed into this very tight space though. Hopefully the defenders will be able to make use of that.
Our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory.
Once again, announcer's pretty happy with this. Orc fodder, 11 orc fodder there, 41 orc maulers. Yeah, we'll get back to where the fighting is mainly going down right now. Trolls running on through. Yeah, I think I'd want to get my trolls over here. Again, Arthur Dane lacking AP, you can get away with really kind of abusing your trolls, just because they don't have the tools to wipe them out quickly. Men at arms coming forward, engaging here. Again, it's just the trolls. You can cut and slash away at them with your swords all you want. They're going to be shrugging off so much of that damage. That's arrow fire. That looks like ranger fire coming in. Yeah, these Dunedain Rangers from Bot. Maybe Bot is just feeling like we need to kill off some men here, so I'm going to hold this position for absolutely as long as I can. He's holding himself quite well on the walls. This is really a situation where the Arthur Dane men-at-arms, who are an average unit, going up against a unit that should maybe be their superior, but with their 2 levels of armor upgrade, the Urkai infantry, attacks that would normally kill one of these men are just bouncing off. And that's definitely going to be helping them out. It's a bit of inaccurate fire coming in from the attackers. I think this is crossbow fire. Yeah, just maybe want to get some use out of it, but I was going to say, no, I'm looking around really. If you could get those crossbows on a wall, then that's exactly what you want to do. The Wardens of the North have come down here. That's not where the General is today, is it? No, no, it's not. Actually, no, he wears a different cape. Oh, crumbs. Yep, that's where he is. So hopefully he gets out of this okay. But the Wardens of the North, with their AP bows, will be able to do some good work up against just about anybody here. More on archers. Might seem like a waste of ammo. Oh, so many trolls coming. As the moment that those 3 beefy units of trolls hit this front line, it's going to shatter. So Arthedain is just really hoping to do as much possible damage as he can. 40 for 47% right now. As I say, defenders can do a lot of good work in the final stages of a battle, especially when they have so many crossbows. Still, ranger fire tearing right through this line, just cutting through these Alcarondas Legion. As bad as this looks, generally when you scan across like what the attackers really have left, they've thrown a lot into this assault. And although I may have some disagreements with what Arthedain has done, he's fared all right. He's killed a good portion of these attackers. Oh dear, lag in a minute. It's just the Rangers. The Rangers who are about to be silenced. They either need to get out of there or they're on guard mode. Some of them are firing straight up. Never really what you want to see from a Ranger. Wardens of the North, I'm not seeing them here. They're there. Fantastic in a melee fight, as they are at ranged. But you need something real special to bust through those trolls. You need the troll slayers. So I think he's just trying to get those troll slayers out of ammunition first. Harbingers of Castamere would be a fantastic target. Oh. It's the rain as part of it. But yeah, that's what you often get with these very sort of dark maps. You know, will often end up just being raining. It's good that the attackers have seen this and they're coming around to sort of help and sort of bust through this and really kill off a lot of Arthedain here. So that when Arthedain does retreat, they sort of can't, because they're already totally surrounded. I'm going to sort of zoom back a little bit, get a bit of a more overview of the battle for a bit. Those men-at-arms there, yeah, as I say, it's slow going, but that's how it always will be with men-at-arms. Men-at-arms don't kill things quickly, but they kill things. And they hold the line. Alcarondas Legion have pierced through. They won't really want to be fighting the Wardens of the North, but very stoic warriors. So, sandwiched between the Wardens of the North and the Dunedain Troll Slayers is not somewhere you want to be, no matter what your morale is. So they won't be lasting too long, I wouldn't expect anyway. But these Dunedain Troll Slayers are not exceptionally well armoured, and they're getting shot from the back right now. Even just by Moron on archers, they're going to take damage from that. And these Uruk-hai crossbowmen have managed to get in now too. Let's move up to see what the defenders have waiting for them. Fire from the Lorien and archers. Kindred of Killenborn. Oh, sorry, those are Wethlow trackers. Kindred are here. They might be firing. And some Seren Amroth Rangers too. They know, they feel quite safe because the attackers have not pushed up to this second level. If I was an attacker, I think I'd maybe be getting my generic infantry, sort of starting to move up around to sort of block them from doing what they're doing right now. How is this shot? Let's see, let's try and follow it. So it's coming up. I think it's coming into the... Oh, it's... Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's coming into the crossbow. Interesting. I see. What I find about this position here is just... Although men can fire up and over, it's very, very difficult to get a direct fire shot. So my focus would be on the infantry. I think it's the attacker's infantry that's going to be winning this for them. Rather than, or it's going to be the attacker's infantry that are getting their archers into a position where they can win it. Kindred fire coming in, cutting through lots of these Angmar halberds. As I say, if Arthedain is to be the sacrificial lamb, which I feel he is in this scenario, they need to make the most of this. So hopefully this was planned between them. And Arthedain said that, you know, I just can't escape, do all you can. Which is very brave and noble. And let's hope that his allies can do enough damage to for it to count later. These halberdiers are a big target. So he's going for these crossbows, but I just disagree with that. I wouldn't be going for the infantry so much, but I'd be going for these halberdiers. How many of those Balgadax are, right? We can see over here the Mordor infantry have come into the back of those men-at-arms. And as good as you are, it's not fun to fight, you know, it's not fun to be sandwiched. And getting shot as well. So, nope, that's a shame. They could have held out so much longer. But just with these 47 men and a little bit of Mordor archer fire, that's gotten them routed. And they're trying to rout through a very compact unit. They're going to be wiped out.
We have sent the idiot to hell.
So that's Arthedain's general removed from play. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, you're not seeing much red left in and around this position. The attackers have done very well at this point. Kindred fire. That is going through. Yeah, that is going through. Some of it is hitting the ground here, but you can clearly shoot through this area. Oh heck, they're going to be racking up a lot of kills in the Zalcarondas Legion and Uruk-hai infantry. And some pikes there too. A shot or two into the Naz High as well could be beneficial. But looking at all this, you know, the Umbar and the Uruk-hai, well, Umbar and Isengard really don't have a massive amount left. I think that's Arthedain leaving. Maybe he had to go, and that's why he was a bit more aggressive in his defense. But overall, I think his sacrifice has definitely made the attackers pay. I just don't know if it's made them pay enough. Of course, our crossbows receiving a lot of fire. Again, it's important you use your ammunition well, so you don't want to be firing off shots that you're just not going to be hitting. But I just worry that that the defenders have wasted too much ammo trying to shut down enemy archers. We're seeing a lot of rangers kind of missing their shots there. As I say, I think that there's going to be better opportunities. When they're squished up into this little position here, that's when you want to be using the rangers. Narem, the attackers have so much ammunition left. When they get to this final point, I'm going to be tempted to like just line up all my archers outside and just fire up and over. You won't rack up many kills, but you'll do something. You'll weaken them. And the thing as well, with all of this fighting, well, with all of this time, Mordor and Angmar have been able, Mordor especially over here, all of their infantry is rested up. Which that's usually a thing that really benefits the defenders in the later stages. When the attackers keep hitting their next line and their next line and their next line, all of the attackers' men end up exhausted and they're fighting totally fresh defenders. So suddenly your exceptional quality is worth not so much when you're going toe to toe with your with the defenders' medium tier units that just happen to have a bit more energy. That trebuchet is moving forward. That's an important thing to remember too. The defenders have a catapult. And this position right here, line it up, fire down, that's brutal with a catapult. Or, you know, the left as well. So we'll probably, I don't think there's too much going on. Ranger fire. Ranger fire still going. I think we just sort of got to speed up. I'll do another cut here as the defenders, well, the attackers, reach their next point. We'll rejoin it now, just as the attackers have moved their archers forward, and the Narem are raining some hell down. They've actually found a good arc here, so you're not really having to fire straight up and over. You really are. This is good. This is really good for the attackers, because they're sort of getting in to these just sort of tightly packed elite units, and they're going to be doing a lot of work, and they're forcing the defenders to fire back at them. the exceptional accuracy of those elves, even firing straight up and over, can still land cracking down right on top of some of these guys, but the human archers of Cardolan are not going to be able to do as much. And all this damage is just coming right into the front of these wardens. So those wardens are very much needed to hold the line. The issue as well with just being lined up like this is, well, with so many... Whoa, okay. The issue with just having so many troops in this tight area is attacks like this are going to be very damaging, and also it's tough to just find a spot for your archers. Those Gwathel trackers would find a nice arc. Right into the enemy crossbows. They might end up routing if there's one unit of 11 and one unit of 14. So they might end up routing if they take a few more losses. I think this is definitely worth it. If Paladin moves his trebuchet up much further, it's going to get taken out by archer fire. So, although this isn't the best place, this is probably where I'd be using my ammo. They're going to need to get a ram up to knock that gate down. Only one troll of the White Hand left. Very determined man.
Only half our force remains.
That's Paladin there's really, so he actually had a lot more troops. He's got a lot more troops left than I thought he did. But a lot of that are these Belegar archers, and I wouldn't be too sure. Let's have a quick scan down. They're really coming hard down this alley. We're seeing some Alcarondas Legion, Harbingers of Castamere. A lot of Alcarondas Legion actually made out. So interesting. Yeah, he's got more left over than I thought. Orc fellers standing up the front. Oh hell. Yeah, that's pretty brutal for the defenders there. Just right on down that line of sharpshooters. Yes, these sharpshooters are primarily taken for their crossbows, but in melee they're good. They're good men at arms, and they're AP men at arms too. So it's losing them like that is terrible. What else do we have? Kindred, they'll be fantastic in melee. We've still got that unit of hammers, and we've got another unit of 18 hammers too. So both of them will be able to knock down a few more trolls. Actually, I'm looking for a... Yeah, there it is. That's the unit of hammers. And rangers there, hopefully got a bit of ammo. Maybe don't. Yeah, they do a bit. And some Minherias sharpshooters there too. Another brutal shot from the trebuchet. Now it's just throwing meat. But in all honesty, this is a good situation to use in meat. Just try and because it's a permanent effect. Is the thing. It's not like an instant morale shock. I think it is a permanent like lowering of morale. So just damaging your enemy's morale is going to be good. A lot of those especially when you're fighting a unit like Cardolan. Without those Dunedain captains right next to them, they're going to be crumbling quite quick to these morale shocks. Belegar archers coming up and over. Again, managed to find quite a nice arc. Watchers off the Golden Wood, targeting something over here. Right into the troll drummers. I'm sure Jack is actually not too upset about that. I know why he's doing it, but like in order to have any effect with this, you need to wipe out every single troll drummer, and that's going to take a lot of ammunition. They're bashing down, these 11 orc fodder are bashing down this gate. After they're done that, they might take the ram around, or there might be another ram en route.
Has done its work. Now is the time for brave hearts and brave deeds.
I'd be very surprised if they make an assault right now. You know, I definitely would be wanting to hold off until both gates are broken. Camel's shadow bows out of ammunition. Just gonna be waiting. So they're good. They're good in a melee engagement. Not fantastic, but you know, I'm sure he's probably happy enough to let them get shot rather than a lot of these orc men behind them. I don't know. I would argue that 75 Shadow bows are probably worth a bit more than these 39 orc maulers. I suppose the AP against what some of Cardolan's remaining men. Oh, this one brave warrior standing alone. I don't know, I might come back, might grab an image of that for the thumbnail. We'll see. So it's the nice thing about the later games, you can get some very cinematic shots done just because units sort of standing by themselves. So I like to sort of look for things like that. Hey there, team. Totally my own fault, but I managed to cause a series of crashes that have kind of lasted quite a bit of time. But hey, we're back into it now, and I mostly remember what was going on. We have the orcs between Mordor and Angmar sitting up here, and they're being assisted by some scraps of Ruin. As I mentioned, I really did think that Ruin was going to be a bit down on his luck later on in the battle, but he did good with that, sort of attacking by himself. He definitely handled himself quite well, and so he's going to be going over mostly and helping them there. Maybe the Gamp Rim are going to come around here. The Gamp Rim will be fantastic for sort of busting through these choke points, but they're definitely going to be struggling against units like the Wardens of Dir and Gorthad. The Ram is edging its way around. It won't take too much longer. But we still have over 10,000 frames. I suspect there'll be a bit of time of just elite units battering the heck out of each other. But I'm interested to see what the plan is from the defenders, because this is a very difficult situation that they are in. The enemy is using up a lot of ammunition, sort of firing up and over, and firing sort of directly like this. The Guardians, they do not want them taking shots, if that can be helped. But it's from Pelargir archers, they're not going to be doing too much damage. Also Belagar archers. Yeah, I suppose the last battle is still in my brain. And also my brain is pretty worn down from the entirely self-caused shenanigans. I think the best bet for them will just be sort of bounding together and then unloading all of what remains of their ammunition on the pushes. I think it could definitely work, and they're kind of looking for the just superior elven skill on the field. The Nazgul are remaining, and oh god, the Witchers. The Witchers are reloading? I don't know. Don't think so. I don't see them getting a shot. I think that's just saying it. The Witchers could do some bloody damage. Say if the Witchers were able to line themselves up here, but of course as soon as they do that, they're going to be getting minced by fire. So need to find their right moment. Dragon's Breath crossbows might be bold enough to do it. I think they are. Yeah, good for them. No, this is some good use for these Dragon's Breath crossbows. Nice armor on them. So if the Lorien and archers did go for them, which I think they are about to, that's them busted through their other entrance, and they might go straight for it now. They are totally set up. Oh god, that's brutal for the Lorien and units. I've not really seen the Dragon's Breath crossbows getting like massive kills like they used to, but they have been changed. I don't want to say nerfed, they've been changed since the last version, which I think they needed, really.
Give grace to God. We have captured the enemy's walls.
Wait. I would have thought they captured the walls a while. Oh, I think it's just coming through that gate, maybe. The one final troll emerging. But these Lorien and warriors, as I mentioned before, they're a good unit. Just deal with that. Quite a bit of skill on them, and that AP. Wardens coming forward now, along with the Greenwood Garrison footmen. Morale buff off the Wardens is going to be very beneficial. The Ram is, I've seen people do this a lot, the Ram is being used to just try and break that position. It's quite funny, really. It might work. Yeah, you can see it sort of is being used to push. That was quite effective. That's the most effective I've ever seen the Ram being used. And it's still going. They won't go any further now. No, no, they've all been engaged now, but that's definitely made the defender's job a lot more difficult. And what is as well is that's a big just.
But that siege engine is not going to man itself.
Oh, funny. I've never really heard that voice line. That ram is going to be just sucking up bolts and arrows with its massive hitbox. Here, the trolls have come forward in much greater number, and the defenders seem less prepared for them here as well. These blooming Tharbad hammers need to be thrown in. Get these trolls smashed down, because these elves, as skilled as they are lacking the AP to cut them down quickly. Defenders no doubt want to try and, they don't want to put too many men on the front line at once, because the Witchers are still on the field. Eldar Council, they've still got all their javelins, they can do a lot of work with them. Here on this side, yeah, so this is good. If this is crossbow fire coming straight in, we're seeing the Naz High, seeing the Berserkers coming forward. Crossbows, of course, the AP is not going to be as useful against them, but just the immense damage. Ah, it's Dunedain Ranger fire. Smaller unit here, so these Dunedain Rangers are going to be able to use their ammo for a while. Up and over shots from the sharpshooters, but it's coming in quite accurately. It's not too much of an arc. The left side is a lot more chaotic, but with these elite units coming forward, I think they'll still hold. Kind of tough to see between the Amroth Rangers, Seren Amroth Rangers, and the very dark armor of the Mordorians, but but yeah, it's we're able to make them out. I think these orcs definitely are going to be struggling here. I think if they're going to make a break, it'll be here. Ah, full unit of trolls have come forward now, and there's just the gatekeepers need to be thrown into melee here just to engage these trolls, because they're going to be gutting the wardens of Tir Gorthad. Despite their skill, the AP is well, the lack of AP is going to be important. Barrow Wights worming their way forward. Only one unit of Barrow Wights today from Angmar. And looking around here, there's not that much remaining. These sentinels are going to be great. Harbingers, of course. Apart from that, kind of running on fumes on this side. On this side too, Orc archers, they're not going to be any real worth on the front line. Gabrim, as I said, and the Camel's Chosen. Nazgul, I think they've probably already been launched in. They'll be somewhere in this blob. I can't really spot any right now. Ah, no, those are the shadow bows. Yeah, no, they might not be in here. Could even be on the other side. They wouldn't really be expected there. Narim facing off against these Blade Masters and Rangers. The exceptional elven skill is going to keep them back. These trolls have pushed on forward, but as they should, these Warhammers have been following them, chasing them down. Just keeping them, on their toes is important. This catapult, not got many men left, but it still is able to control all three siege engines. Sharpshooter fire, just ignoring the trolls. Ignoring the trolls is fine, but you need to get something fighting them. Ah, that was 2 units of gatekeepers. Smart, I would say, yeah. Wardens of Tir Gorthad, quite enjoying that fight. Yes, still doing okay with it. But the Naz High are going to be making their way to the front line soon. And I do worry, there's some of them. I just don't see any real quality units. Of course, once these trolls are dealt with, Tharbad Warhammers can come in. There's still the Watchers of the Golden Wood as well. Ready for some... Oh, we've seen some burning going on. It doesn't look like those tremendous casualties from the defenders. But there is definitely a burning little green fire there. Witcher's trying to find a nice shot, which in winning... In a lot of ways I think they have here. They don't think so though. Ranger fire. Very nice ranger fire as well. Oh gosh. That was I guess possibly coming into the trebuchet. Yeah, I think that's probably where it's going. This one final troll left. As I say, he'll kill a lot of these sharpshooters unless these sharpshooters are willing to try and fight him, but it means they can't be firing. So I'd probably grab the Tharbad Warhammers just to chase them down. One quick charge will do it. The Guardians there, their numbers have been lowered, but they are exceptional. So they will not be going down easy from this front engagement. Urkai crossbows have found a nice arc, killing off some of these Eldar Council. Maybe spears and melee, but they're good spears. This poor one warden by... Oh, he's not... damn, I was about to say he's not by himself. He's got his two pikemen fighting together. Different races, different factions, but his elven buddy has fallen. Hopefully he'll be able to get some revenge for him. These men might waver and they might rout in a minute. Ah, damn. No, the Berserker's there. I suspect the Berserker will be able to take him out. But in return, there's a lot of more sharpshooter fire coming in. How are we doing here? Are the defenders pulling it back? They are slowly. They've still got a lot of ground to cover though. And it's all one good Witcher shot away from being over, I'd say. Dundee Rangers need to just keep finding good arcs. It's a good thing about this sort of small unit. Ah, that was an attempted shot, but it was caught by the gate. The defenders will be loving that. It's only... What? Righto. Okay, good. As painful as that is, I'd prefer them hitting my Rangers than my front line. That guy he just shrugged that off. That's a bit strange. He definitely got hit by something because he did that. He flinched, but no, he didn't get burned to a crisp. It's starting to get very thin on the ground here. Although there is some good quality here, we're seeing a lot of struggling, and I suspect the Nazgul and no, still not really seeing the Nazgul. I'm just wondering what's causing these elite troops, or not so much elite troops, but elven quality troops, to have so much trouble here. Might be the Angmar Halberds and their phalanx. The Watchers of the Golden Wood should hopefully change that though. A little bit on this side. I say that Ram's still causing some problems, but they've managed to form up around it. Alcarondas Faithful will chew through the... Is that guy still alive? He did manage to get revenge. he took out that Berserker by the looks of things. No! Ah, damn, I was hoping he would last. He just lived long enough for us to see him go down. Javelin fire is pretty damn effective here, especially if it's coming into those Sentinels. Those Sentinels have already been rinsed. These Barrow Whites, very tempting target, but you don't want to waste too much ammo on them. That's like near enough a full unit of pikes, and then 2 beefy units of Uruk-hai infantry. So that's not going to be. It's going to take a very long time for the defenders to just chew through that on this front line. We see it on the left. Oh, there's a push there by the Orc archers. Not a lot of mass on them, but if they can just worm their way through this formation, get some backstabs with their little daggers, that could be useful. But if not, that's going to lead to them suffering a lot of casualties very quickly, and the defenders would hope maybe causing a chain rout. These sharpshooters are out of ammo, but I'd say they're good men at arms, good AP men at arms on the front line, which up against a lot of these Loke, well, the Loke and the Loke Scion Rim and the Flag Rim there. They're going to be quite useful against that. And also the Angmar orcs are slightly better armoured than some of their companions, so that'll be useful. And they certainly they lack the skill they need their armour, what little of they have. Yeah, we're not really seeing any archers over here now, so they've been getting just cut to pieces very quickly. But they've used up all of their ammo, so they've done their purpose. These sword masters and also some watchers of the Golden Wood just dominating on the right flank of that position. Catapult, only one catapult left, but to be honest, I think that's for the best. Oh, some of the Orc archers did actually make it through, well done to them, but they're routing now. And to be honest, they've probably woken up. When they pushed through, they maybe woke up some of the glitched routing units. Oh dear, so that's Umbar's general taken out, but much of what he has left. Yeah, the Trebuchet team have rushed forward. Much of what he has left is not really going to be routed off the field anytime soon. These Belgar archers might be getting out, but the Alcarondas Legion are, of course, staying. Oh, sorry, yeah, Alcarondas Legion. I think I probably do jump between saying Alcarondas Legion and Alcarondas Faithful on occasion, but that was one of the last orc archers smashed over the head with that mace there. Some of these Galadra Blade Masters, I'd say Lothlorien's not a unit or not a faction I play as too often. So I do like to see sort of the quality of some of their units. I was last night I was shot to absolute pieces in a 4v4 by up against Lothlorien. A lot of fun, but yeah, of course not too fun when my poor old Cardolan crossbowmen are just outranged by the best archers of Middle-earth. Still, in the meat grinder, these men are having a lot of difficulty. Camel Chosen coming forward, they're going to do some good damage, and there's another unit of Lorien and Halberds waiting. The Troll Drummers will get some kills, and the Temple Executioners. But I'm sure they're just waiting. Ah, crumbs, the Nazgulers. They've not even been sent into the fight yet. This is, yep, that's pretty scary. The Nazgul are still just standing in their entirety. Archers struggling ahead. These gatekeepers, he's been careful with their ammunition. Oh, okay. Nice, okay. That ram is still going to be a bit of a bullet sponge, but that was quite dramatic there. And yeah, this is a perfect position, so as long as this right flank can hold, this one catapult is going to do a hell of a lot of good here. You're seeing there were a lot of corpses around there. These Uruk-hai infantry are coming forward. But they're just getting very loose. Very just sort of thin on the ground here.
It is unwise to praise the day before
Rangers still got their ammo. Only 5 of them left though. They can't do damage very quickly. These Guardians or Gatekeepers are out of ammo now. What have we still got? Sharpshooters. All of the elites are on the front line, and the attackers just still have their elites in reserve. So when all of this is over, I think that those Nazgul are just not really going to have worthy challengers left alive. Or what they do have will be, hit points will be gone, they'll be pretty finished. Minas Morgul Chosen here, they could do a shield wall push. I'd be tempted for that, just to bust this line open, but they're sort of they're handling things okay on the front line. When I'm killing people quite well on a front line, I'm quite reluctant to breach it. They've almost reached this catapult, and once they do, I think that'll be the defenders' sort of hope for victory here, sort of squashed entirely. Good shot once again. Some Harbingers dealt with. I saw a Sentinel get taken out. All of these units are quality. Even though he's not racking up like massive 30-man blasts here. Oh, right. Okay, that's a lot of Uruk-hai running off there. 40 of them. They'll come back, I suspect, but that means they're not on the front line for now. The Barrow-wights have pushed through. AP from these gatekeepers is going to help, but firing into the crossbows, I don't know. I'd go for I'd be tempted for a real danger close shot right here. But maybe he was aiming for the Temple Executioners, actually. And the Nazgul have come around this side. Interesting. The Troll Drummers are coming to try and breach this way. Not too many Mordor forces left. Why do I keep trying to stay Mordorian? Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Not too many orcs left on the field, so their morale buff will not be as useful. These Minas Morgul Chosen to push through, engaging the sharpshooters, but that money is kind of on the sharpshooters there. Not with that sort of numbers discrepancy. Sorry, I didn't quite see how badly they were outnumbered. Yeah, just me being me, I'd be tempted to throw the trolls into melee right now, but that's probably for the best that they're not. Not with those sharpshooters still remaining dotted around with their AP. Orc archers are just worming their way all around the formation right now. Catapult has been engaged now. We're seeing some of the Nazgul engaging it. And as good as these Tharbad Warhammers are, they're just not built to take on a unit like the Temple Executioners. The immense skill of those Executioners, along with the Nazgul, along with their Nazgul overlords, they just can't really face off against that. And when the pikemen get up forward, it'll be over. So which side will sort of? I would say that the left properly broke first. Yeah, but that's more because on the right they were focused on just wiping out the right side, and as the defenders should, you know, they don't really have anything in reserve here. At this point, everything should have been moved to the front line. These 7 Dunedain Rangers are still standing. I love the Cardolan Rangers. I think they're my favorite. Between them and the Arthedain Rangers, I do think that they look better.
Lord, we have lost control of the city.
All right. He just didn't seem very happy, but that was a general kill there, so. But he had already lost his general. A few shots right into the backs of these men, but there's some good quality here. They're not going to be too worried about that. Not just 5 Rangers. A full unit of Rangers, that would definitely give some concern, but not this. Is that one? That's clever. Okay, so he is trying this. He's trying to get his one catapult man to reman that catapult, but one man can't. These 2, did they just keep running back and forth? Oh, this guy's gonna deal with them. But one man can't man a catapult. If there were 2 men left there, that would be a hell of a surprise for the attackers. Suddenly this catapult you thought was silenced, ripping a hole through your front line. He's going for it, good man. But no, those heavily armoured Minas Morgul Chosen are going to be too much for him to deal with his little blade. Those 3 men fallen just in one sort of swing there. And yeah, no, the attackers just have so much quality left in this late game that the defenders don't have much option, not much ability. Anyway, so I'll start looking around the map, I think, as we bring this battle to a close. Generals dropping everywhere right now. I think it was, what do we end up with here? 90. That's pretty damn close, really. Especially, you know, with sort of the different types of forces brought to bear today. The defenders really sort of went all out defending these front lines, especially Arthedain there. I think maybe Arthedain should have maybe fallen back, but I think it all just, Grizzly Fox just maybe had too much in reserve. I didn't expect it though, and obviously, of course, he didn't expect the attackers to come forward in such a brutal initial assault. And what just has me kicking myself, and I'm sure Grizzly Fox is kicking himself about it too, is just that had he brought everything forward right at the start, he could have held that, I think. Maybe he couldn't have held it, but the orcs would have suffered tremendously in taking it. So I think that it would have been it would have been a very different story had he had both units of Tharbad Warhammers up there, had he had all of his crossbows down there, his Dunedain Rangers in place. You know, we saw right, you know, toward the start there was a perfect shot that those Dunedain Rangers could have been pouring their ammunition down and just racking up hundreds of kills. So as I say, I'm sure that that's pretty painful for him, but still, like, he can't be upset about his kills. All the defenders did very well here. Let's go through Paladin's kills Paladin's units for a minute. Harbingers of Castamere took a lot of catapult fire toward the end, and they were fighting some quality units, so that's generally why they suffered that, but so that can't really be blamed on them. The Shield Bearer is exactly what you want, their AP busting through the Arthedain armour, because this was a very heavily armoured Arthedain force, more like a Gondorian force in a lot of ways. You know, and then the 2 units of Balkath Guard, again, their AP would have been beneficial, but the lack of shields on a siege is always going to be bloody. You're always going to take a lot of losses. Those Sentinels, for how badly they suffered to that catapult, actually racked up a lot of kills. That's quite impressive from them. And of course, the 4 units of Alcarondas Legion are always going to do well. Good, nice, dandy, basic men-at-arms, but basic turned up to the nth degree. I'm always a big fan of them, even if I personally don't use them. I just don't, I don't know why I don't use them. I probably should, but hey. being a fan of men-at-arms and such. We've got these two Corsair crossbow units. They absorbed a lot of enemy archer fire. The defenders really poured a lot of ammunition onto them, and you know, I can see why, but you know, maybe that final position is not as safe as I always thought it was. It's quite easy for the attackers to find a good arc for their skirmishers, so it is good to deal with those units. Then Belgar archers there. Yeah, they were there to be meat shields, as Belgar archers are very good at doing, with their shield and their half-decent armor. And then the trebuchet there, initially taking out the walls, and then absolutely blitzing through those sharpshooter lines. So that was really good. Overall though, pretty dandy display on the left there, between him and Hulo. Jaka and Jani, of course, their absolute brutal charge. That blitzed their way through the initial choke point, and then they were very good at moving to assist their allies, first in the middle and then on the left. So that was some good initiative from them, and it was good initiative to see generally that the defenders are pretty thin on the ground, and you have the opportunity to charge, and they did. I've got a bad habit of, like, I will make a plan for how I want to assault a settlement in the army builder phase, and then I will not deviate from that plan. And that's cost me sieges, for sure, because I'm unwilling to really change. Whereas they came into this, I don't know if they came into this with the intention to charge, they had a lot of skirmishers, but, you know, so maybe it was, they brought a balanced army, they wanted to see what it was going to be, and, you know, turned out good for them. Beast mode, not really seen him, I don't think I've seen him before, but as I said before, he did a good job coming through the middle by himself. He didn't go for an all-out rush and just wasted his army immediately. You know, he came in bit by bit, which was really important, and allowed his army to last a bit longer. So and he was going up against the elves too, so it makes sense that he didn't really rack up too many kills there. And then I mentioned Jani and Hulo, of course. Aradon there, I've not really seen Aradon with his Lothlorien boys. I thought he did really quite well. I think maybe the only thing is maybe a bit more coordination. With Carn Dum, you know that when you're in a 5v3 in Carn Dum, you know that the two sides are going to be getting hit harder because they've got two people on them, whereas you've only got one person on the middle. So I think when Gondor, get it right third time lucky, Cardolan, is gonna, when he saw Cardolan was buckling, he maybe should have rushed something there as well. Maybe from his middle, like even a single unit of Lorien warriors maybe rushing over to the left, and then he takes another unit to replace them from his reserves. But yeah, Grizzly Fox talked a lot about that already. I think they racked up a lot of kills, and then Bot Lude, he didn't really rack up too many kills because he was the sacrifice. Him holding that position on the right there and being flanked around allowed his allies to really pour ammunition down onto the attacking forces. I don't necessarily agree with the strategy, but I think it might have been to do with he had to go or something like that. That would make sense, and which is always the case when these battles last a long ass time. They take a lot of my videos are about an hour and a half long. You've got to keep in mind I cut off about 20 minutes at the start, and then 10 minutes at the start, and then speed through a bit here and there as well. But all in all, damn good fight. Thank you guys very much.